Hey, what's going on? Benji Kaiser today, talking about the HP Spectre x360. This is from a graphic designer's perspective. I've been getting a lot of questions about this computer, so I thought, you know what? I'll just go on the channel, give my perspective on the Spectre x360, get you guys informed on, is this computer a good fit for graphic designers? This is a computer that is a 2-in-1, which means it kind of opens and closes, and you can lay it down flat on a surface and, take the pen and draw directly on the screen. So it's a very good computer, and I just want to unpack the details in order to make sure that I inform you on a good buying decision. Now, if you are interested in the exact model I'm talking about as we're working through this video, you can head down into the description below, grab a link directly to the exact model I'm talking about. That is an affiliate link, so it will give me a small commission, but at no extra cost to you. And that is what keeps these videos coming out to you, and I really appreciate when y'all use those links. It keeps this channel alive. This is a channel talking about graphic design, whether you're getting started in the industry, trying to find the right tech, tools, and get on your way with the right tips, or if you're trying to grow your graphic design career, this is the place to be. So the first thing I want to talk about is the ports on the side of this computer. This is a well-equipped computer for graphic designer because it has the HDMI, the USB, the SD card, and it has a headphone jack. So this computer is well-equipped for your needs. The USB ports, quick for thumb drives and transferring files between devices and computers and people. The HDMI helps with doing presentations, and the SD card slot is really good for quickly loading pictures into your computer just to boost your efficiency. The 4K screen is really great for graphic designers because it's very color accurate. It's not perfect, especially if you're printing materials, because printers print in CMYK versus this screen, which is Adobe RGB. Now, if you're going to the web with your designs, then the color accuracy will be phenomenal. No question there. But if you are printing, know that there's going to be a little bit of difference because you're dealing with two different color profiles. The screen that it folds out is pretty amazing because as a graphic designer, you can take the pen and you can draw directly onto the screen. So whether you're an illustrator and you're just sketching up design concepts, whatever it may be, that's a great option that you have with this computer. I was testing out the screen and kind of the sensitivity and the density as you push harder and softer, and it's very sensitive. It works very well. I have thought about some comparisons between the Surface Book Pro and the HP Spectre x360. I've actually created a video for that. So if you're curious about the difference between those two computers, you can check that out. The YouTube card's above or the description below, and you can check out the differences. But this one handles it very well. Also, is this computer easy to kind of get around town with? It's a light computer, it's under 5 pounds, 15-inch screen, so quickly slides into most backpacks, durable with the high-quality build. This doesn't exactly have the build quality of, say, a Dell XPS 15 or a VivoBook Pro. I've made videos about those computers. You can check those out. YouTube card's above or the description below. And those computers I really praise for build quality. This one's still very well built, but just not all aluminum, so it's the difference there. All right, so specs. Is this computer well equipped for graphic designers? That's often a concern I get. And yes, I would say so. This has 16 gigs of RAM, a 512 gig solid state hard drive, a NVIDIA MX150 graphics processing unit, and this one has the i7 8th generation processor, so it's the latest and the greatest processor from Intel. It's gonna be really well equipped. Let's talk through that though quickly. The 16 gigs of RAM is good because that is my recommendation for a minimum for graphic designers. I have 32 gigs of RAM in my Dell XPS 15. I think that's even better. But lately, 8 gigs of RAM I just think isn't enough to run and have the power you need as a graphic designer to run Adobe Photoshop, InDesign, and maybe Illustrator all at the same time. Because there's a lot of times you'll be using those programs simultaneously if you're new to the industry and you're curious about that. The i7 processor is fantastic. I started my graphic design career using a MacBook Pro with an i5. It was good, but it just wasn't the peak performance that I find I need now as the programs are becoming more robust. And as we're leaning more towards getting into motion design, some video editing, stuff like that, graphic designers are being called upon for some more tasks often than just design. Which then leads me to the graphics processing unit, which is the MX150. Now, I highly recommend the GTX series, but I was looking at some benchmarks, and as you can see, it rates pretty well up against the GTX 1050. The graphics, it's only about 8 points less than the GTX 1050 Ti and the GTX 1050. It's about 7 points less. The computing power is good. It's only about 7 points less than the GTX 1050i, which is just the latest for the Dell XPS 15. And then as far as performance per watt, it's just up there. It's only 5 points less than that. The noise is actually less than the GTX because it doesn't have a fan, so you're gonna get less noise there. And the overall score is only 8 points less. So honestly, as far as when I recommend computers, I usually go for the GTX series. I like the 960, but most of my computers I recommend have the GTX 1050. It's right in line there. And I mean, if you're not gonna be getting into some heavy video editing or some motion design, this computer is gonna totally take care of your needs. So that's going to be really helpful, knowing that yes, you're in good hands with this graphics processing unit. It'll be good for your graphic design needs. The last thing I want to talk about as far as specs is concerned is the solid state hard drive. This is really important, I find, in graphic design computers because they're reliable and they have great performance. So reliability comes in when the old hard disk drives had moving parts. So a lot of times I would find that people's hard drives would crash. And so you're not gonna run into that because a solid state hard drive has no moving parts. And so it's not gonna crash as often. There's no guarantees with technology. We all know that anything can happen, but it's gonna be far more reliable. Performance. So because there's no moving parts, the performance is very, very good. So you will have faster read and write times, you're gonna have faster boot times, faster application loading times. Solid state hard drive is a great buy. So as far as all that's concerned, I think you have a really good computer on your hands here if you're interested in the HP Spectre x360, especially if you're an illustrator, you're somebody who likes to sketch directly on your computer. That pen is going to be a great option for you. Again, if you're interested in that computer, grab the affiliate link below. I greatly appreciate y'all using that. It helps keep this channel alive. I'm Benji Kaiser of BenjiKaiser.com. Subscribe if you've yet to. Hit the like button if this has helped you. And comment below if you have any questions. I'll see you here on the next episode.